Now, it is very scary, to be very honest.
I've never undergone such a serious situation in my life.
As a doctor, we cannot deny our duty. We are just like soldiers put up on the LOC border. It's a war. It's a war.
Ground situation is as serious as it was. The oxygen situation has not been improved. Few days ago, my own personal doctor and a friend for 25 years, Dr. Pradeep Bijalwan, who got infected because of, he was continuously looking for patients,
Frontliner, of course.
examining patients. Yes,
course,
Dr. Pradeep. And then he got infected. We got him admitted. His family got him admitted in one hospital in Greater Noida in UP. Hospital next day said that they are running out of the oxygen. Take out the patient. We brought him to his house, and then I went to Haryana to bring oxygen cylinder and to manage the kit, which is flow meter, etc. Somehow we could give him the oxygen, but we could not save his life because despite best efforts, we could not arrange one bed with uh, uh, ventilator.
Right.
We could not save his life. And then the other challenge was, the other pain was that for 36 hours, there was no slot available in any cremation grounds in Delhi. We got next day morning, suppose, he died around afternoon, and then next morning we could cremate him. And when I went to the cremation ground, which was close to my house, I did not see such a scene in my entire life. I've been in journalism for more than 30 years. We report accidents, we report lots of things, tragic things, and we are, in habit of seeing lots of dead bodies during our professional, duties. But such a huge rush in cremation ground I've never seen in my life.
There's a sense of, despair that you don't know what is happening around you. You no clue, who and through whom you can get affected or infected. And then the worst scenario, I think the fear factor is there, the paranoia is there that what if you are affected? First, you don't know how it's going to react with your body, what kind of a reaction is going to be there. Second, uh, before this, people used to be like, okay, something's happened. You have the system, you have hospitals to take care of you. Now you are scared to even step out and move into a hospital because kind of, walking into the pits of hell because the situation is so bad in our hospitals. And I don't know how, those frontline workers are managing there with their families, with the kind of workload that they probably must be facing. But mentally, it's exhausting. It's very exhausting because you're living in a fear. You're living in, a very, very uncertain time period wherein you don't know what may happen. And that is probably more killing.
Doctor, we are continuously running. We don't have any day or night duties. There is nothing as such. That the PG students, the postgraduate students who are pursuing courses in different medical colleges and hospitals, their duties, the period of time frame of their graduation degrees have been extended for further 3 months. They have to pursue further 3 months course to serve as a COVID doctor, so that there is no more shortage of doctors in the country. We are not gods, we are human beings. We cannot cater all the patients flocking in the hospitals night and day, just coming in, and we cannot. There has some limitation, there has some capacity within us also.
They have not taken the second wave seriously, which has been predicted by the parliamentary committee. Experts were saying this,
True.
but they have not taken. In fact, they did reverse. They in fact invited the wrath of nature and the wrath of this virus by actively campaigning in West Bengal, by actively doing all kinds of politics, by allowing Mahakumbh to happen, where lakhs of people assemble in such a small place. With no screening, nothing. So,
Right.
so in fact, what they have done is all reverse to invite the second wave to hit them, and with no
Exactly.
preparation. One good thing which is also happening is that through WhatsApp groups and through social media, lots of volunteer help is coming. But volunteer help cannot match with the government's help.
True.
Government has all kinds of agencies. For example, oxygen. Everybody knows that we are not oxygen deficit country. The only problem is the management of oxygen, the transportation and making right kind of predictions, right kind of decisions at the right time, and this is not happening. Coronavirus does not recognize geographical boundaries. Coronavirus does not recognize religion, does not recognize nationalities. It is hitting everyone. So we should be the maturity and the right kind of decision making would be that these forget all these things, uh, which take help from wherever it is coming, and give your help to the needy nations, to the needy societies, if you can do, by saving your population also, and at the same time giving help to others also. These are exceptionally bad times, and we should help each other.
Question of our Earth planet. It's not question of China or America or India or something like that. If something is coming, something positive is coming from any part of the country, if any part of the world, whether it is China or whether it is Pakistan itself, if it has got some positive effect on the pandemic, we should, as a doctor, as a human being, as a student of medical science, I welcome this. We should we should incorporate with them and try to fight this global pandemic. It's a war. It's not a war against any territorial border. It's a war against human race. So if something is coming, if China has some good plans in containment, if China has come with a new drug, if China's vaccine has got more potential, why not? Why not?